Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada around the world. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I am a fellow of Real Estate Institute of Canada, broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. brokerage. Tonight's topic is perception is everything in real estate. Perception is important because it helps us to understand the world around us. We are in real estate, we interact with consumers, and whatever we convey to them is interpreted in positive way or negative way. It could be misleading or it could be guiding them. Idea again is, as a professional, we have an ethical, moral, legal duty to be honest and not to give a false perception about you. There are a couple of things very common in real estate where people are stating these things and they may lead to misunderstanding by the consumer. First of all, very common mistake that we are seeing or some professionals are doing is, I am selling the price so many percentage over the asking price. This is very common practice of many realtors, and nobody knows whether the price that was sold over, what are the circumstances behind it. Was this property underlisted, so it's sold above the list price? And nobody knows that. And this is why the seller may have to ask. If somebody say, I sold over asking price, what was the market price at that time? Was there any CMA done to list the property, or this was instruction from the seller to list price, under list price, solicit bid? I see even today, all properties almost close to million and 100,000, they are always asking for multiple offers, which is fine, but provided that the list price is reasonable, because it's confusing for many disappointed buyers, because they cannot put an offer because they don't know whether it's a list price or a real price or not, or the buyer agent is not trying to do a CMA to create a estimated value for the property to make sure it is within the budget of the buyer. So this is why it's very, very important to find out that when you are claiming that I sold over asking price to get new listing, to make sure that you have explained this to them. You have a data to support that. And this is very, very important, because it could be very misleading, because if somebody, a property was sold for $1.6 million and you list as a 1.3 and you sold it 1.65. So even though this is legal, but are you giving the impression that your competency level is not there? That means if you are a competent professional, you will prepare a proper estimate of value and then let market decide. But obviously we have to follow the instructions of our principal with the seller, but it's not to give that impression to the general public that you have sold over asking price, unless genuinely it is and you are able to do that. Second common the advertisement that we see, number one, in real estate. By reading that number one in real estate, we have a couple of questions about that. Is the agent itself is number one based on data available to public and identified, or is it because of the brokerage, or a team that is number one based on number of people in that team? Because you can't take the credit for yourself unless you are part of the team and the whole team take credit. And this is why it's very, very important that you don't create an impression that, oh, we are number one. But you have to justify it, especially when you're advertising it, that your team has a 60, 70 people, combined sale, buying and selling. You are number one in Toronto, Mississauga, particular city or a board or whatever. And if we see that, idea again is to avoid that, to make sure that when you are claiming this, that credit goes to you. I know that a lot of broker record put their name with all the listing. And that way the real estate agent who is bringing in listing to the brokerage won't get much of a credit because he or she has to work with the broker record. It's a company policy. But allow the brokers and agents to develop their own brand in the marketplace. They should have the full freedom to use their own data and your own information when they're marketing. But again, it's about number one. You can see that lots of advertisement on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere, that Instagram, TikTok, I'm number one. So this is very interesting and also create a kind of false impression that how to define a number one. Is in the brokerage or is a brand, because brand may have various franchises. So you have to know where are you number one and why you are number one, and put a reliable reference for that. The other comment that I have seen is, in fact, one of the agent dropped a letter to my home address and asking that, oh, we have a buyer looking to buy property in that area and they want to see your property. If you list with me, then I will bring you the offer. So that's a very common, and that gives you impression that, oh, this guy has a buyer for my property, and they're attracting the seller to list the property with them, so in order to bring the offer. As you know, in real estate, we can bring an offer to a seller, property not listed on the market, and we can agree to a commission if you knock on the door and you say, I have a buyer for your property, but you haven't seen the property. Or maybe the buyer has some serious buyer. They know the location, they know the building, they know the neighborhood. So have a buyer offer with you, had BRA with you, means you are a buyer representative. So if somebody is coming in and asking me to sell my house, I'm telling them, show me the BRA that they want this property and they have the financing. They can buy this property, because you can't give a generic information and spread it all over the place. Maybe somebody lists the property. I have seen people sending these flyers out, then the list comes, and when they get the listing, it is on MLS. So what is the common marketing strategy for our real estate professional? Our MLS system. This is we call MLS multi-listing service. Most of the brokerage are using TREB, Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, MLS system, that my brokerage also a member of that. We also are a member of Mississauga Real Estate Board, and we also have a ITSO MLS system. There are about 21 board. So if you have one listing on TREB, one listing on TREB and ITSO on Realtor.ca, you will have two listings if you list with my company. So this is very powerful tool. Is available to all commons. And this is why it's very, very important for you to understand. The most powerful tool all real estate professional have is the MLS system. Exposure, giving maximum exposure to your listing around the world. Now, this is why it's very, very important. Apart from that, on the listing, when you have a listing agreement or you're talking to a real estate professional, you're talking about how they're going to market it. So there are so many ways of doing it. You can ask them if they have their own network, do they have their own social media platform, and how they come up with the buyers. And I tell you, out of almost 100% will say, we have MLS system, we have our social network, we all have our own database and LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube channel. So we have all these multiple platforms to market. So what is so unique about you? And lots of people, you see very commonly, king of condos or king of neighborhood, very commonly used. There is no such a designation required under REBA or soon to be TRISA unless there is a designation assigned by a professional institution or real estate council of Ontario will come up with specialization, residential, commercial, or whatever. It's not been introduced yet. I'm a fellow Real Estate Institute of Canada. So I have a pin here on this side, FRI, Fellow Real Estate Institute. I have a second pin is called Certified Real Estate Specialist. This is also from Real Estate Institute of Canada. Then I have a CIPS on the other side, this side. Fellow Certified International Property Specialist, Seller Senior Real Estate Specialist, Seller Representative Specialist, Accredited Buyer Representative. These are designations from institution. For years they have provided training and knowledge and transferred it to the people who secure this. These are not required by law. These are passion to serve your client diligently, best service. And not only that we follow code of ethics, this is our Real Estate Business Broker Act. It's soon to be TRISA, Trust in Real Estate Services Act 2002. And there's changes are coming and moving things from code of ethics to the regulation. And there are a lot of changes coming. And I think if you are familiar, as you know as a consumer, the real estate business is regulated in the province of Ontario. RECO, Real Estate Council of Ontario, is the watchdog or regulator that's mandated by the Ontario government for education program. So create the skill set necessary to register and practice real estate in Ontario. So once you complete your education program, you are able to register with RECO through a brokerage. Third one is compliance program. Real Estate Council only makes sure that you all comply with it. All real estate professional, broker of record, broker or salesperson, they all follow the same law. Now, as I mentioned to you, and there is a consumer protection program, when your deposit is deposited in a real estate trust account, Section 27 of the REBA, that protects it. You can't take out the money from the real estate trust account unless there is a transaction that has been completed or there is a mutual release signed by all parties, buyer, seller, listing and cooperating brokerage to release fund or the order of the court. So these are the functionalities very commonly mentioned there, but I don't know how commonly you go out and visit, because when RECO take decision in terms of disciplinary action, you can go to reco.on.ca and you can learn about things happen, who is licensed to practice, the brokerage is registered, or the real estate agent or broker is registered, and also if there is any any disciplinary action against a brokerage or a person, because this is why you need to educate. You need to feel well protected dealing in this. Purpose of this perception, creating this false that we have this or we have that. You can't do that. You have to make sure that you are straightforward, you're honest, you tell them what you are capable of. And this is also very important that you are when you're talking about different scenarios in real estate. Talk to people, talk to real estate agent, interview many of them. Cost of hiring a real estate professional is the same. Some may charge less, some may charge more. And the other impression that perception that I see is, oh, I list your property for free, but you buy from me. That's an offer from a real estate person on behalf of the brokerage. Well, tell me, how many people can survive under this most difficult time that we're facing when listing for free for $500? How are you going to pay the mortgage? How are you going to pay for education for your children? How are you going to pay for your car expenses when you are bringing down your own income to a point where you feel that that's the only way you can do that? What about professionalism? What about ethic and due diligence, competency? How much effort you have to do a deal? When you are listing or doing even presentation, I take almost 8 hours to create a presentation when I go and meet a seller, when I'm invited to submit a proposal. 8 hours. So I did not make any money. I spent research collecting data and analyzing it, putting in a Excel sheet, doing some calculations and creating a CMA. Either you can use the TRAB or ITSO, but I create my own. I want to make sure it's easy, understandable, and you are able to communicate with people. So when you do spend that much time and you want to go there and get it, you don't want to waste time. You want to educate the seller what's going on. You can see there's so many variations. Recently, I sold a property that now I'm going to be helping them buy it. They interviewed and they became my friend. They interviewed 4 or 5 top people in Mississauga, and they end up giving me the listing, and I sold it. And we became a good friend. He said, you are so thorough, accurate, complete. You did not do any misrepresentation. And you gave us a figure and you delivered it. And that's how you do it. But you are going to underlist the property or overlist the property to get a price or listing. No, that is not there, because that's a bad perception that you're going to throw into people. Because lots of people say, oh, I give you discount. We always able to give discount. We always give. Remember that. Under REBA, you must have a client relationship. You have a BRA or listing agreement signed that says that I will give you a contribution, whatever contribution toward closing cost or whatever. But it has to be in writing. Don't do it verbally, because that creates expectation. And maybe you meant for 5,000, they end up asking 10,000. So you create a situation where it's judgmental and giving a bad impression that, oh, you can give me a certain amount of money, and you didn't say what. And you didn't put in BRA or even the listing agreement. So you created that perception, oh, you can raise the expectation of a consumer. Consumer wants your service for free if you can provide it. Why not? But if you have to support your family, you need to have a reasonable income. And obviously, the fees or the commission you call, that is negotiated between the buyer and the seller. Each one separately with the listing brokerage or the buyer brokerage. Each one separately. So when you are trying to get a listing, and I have seen that, most important thing that is not about really the money, it's about the value. Good ethic is a good business. The more value you give to your client, the more appreciative that client is. And you create a bond, and they will go a long way in terms of building a relationship. So this is why it's very important that perception that you create about you, your personality, how you conduct your business, how prepared you are, knowledgeable, honestly disclosing everything about real estate, and not to worry about whether I get listing or not. You tried your best, but don't give them perception that, oh, it could be interpreted this way or that way. No, it will not. It come and harm you. So most important thing is, it's not about the brand. It's not about the brokerage. When a real estate professional comes to your door, that person is speaking on behalf of the brokerage. He or she will be acting on behalf of the brokerage. So that person, is it convincing for you? The language, the communication, the body language, how they appear in front of you, how they talk about it, and you are gauging. As a consumer smart, they're gauging because they have access to lots of information. But they want to do is to assess you, not only selling a home. They talk about the personality, your professionalism, your honesty, your integrity, your truthfulness, that you are going to be a believable, a reliable person who will represent this brokerage to sell our house. So perception is everything. So you have now, this is about consumer behavior. They will learn about you, how you communicate, how you talk, how you walk, how you dress, how you communicate. Effective communicators are always beneficial because it benefits them, especially if you have done specialized training. For example, fellow real estate chief of Canada, I'm a fellow or certified real estate specialist, or many other designations that give you more special skill to help deliver a better service for your client. We're going to continue our conversation after the break, and we're going to take a short break.
हसीन लगना तो सभी चाहते हैं, मगर हुस्न का निखार तभी मुमकिन है जब आपका स्टाइलिस्ट हो एक्सपर्ट एंड क्वालिफाइड। ब्यूटी बार एंड ब्राइडल, ऑल एक्सपर्टीज इन वन पॉइंट। हमारे यहाँ थ्रेडिंग, लेटेस्ट फेशियल ट्रीटमेंट, बेस्ट बॉडी वैक्सिंग, मेकओवर जैसा आप चाहें, जबरदस्त ब्राइडल पैकेज, मैनिक्योर, पेडिक्योर, केराटिन ट्रीटमेंट, क्रायो हेयर ट्रीटमेंट और बहुत कुछ जो आपके हुस्न को चार चांद लगा दे। तो देर किस बात की, अभी विजिट कीजिए ब्यूटी बार एंड ब्राइडल। वी आर लोकेटेड एट 5150 डिक्सी रोड, यूनिट 6, मिसिसागा। अवार्ड विनिंग इंडियन ब्यूटी सैलून। For appointments, call now 437-324-2885. Beauty Bar and Bridal, one-stop beauty salon.
आओ चले ईद बाजार, चलो चले ईद बाजार। चूड़ियाँ, झुमके, जूते, पान, लगाएं मेहंदी, ले सामान। लेडीज जेंट्स कपड़े, सूट, शेरवानी और सैंडल बूट, सुर्खी पाउडर और सिंगार, फ्री एंट्री इस बाजार। चीज मयारी, सस्ते दाम, वहाँ की हर शे आए काम। आओ चले, चलो चले। Eid Bazaar, presented by Awaz Entertainment and PJ International at Swagat Banquet Hall on 26 and 27 June.
जी हम आपको बताते चलें समर फन फेस्ट। जी समर फन फेस्ट एक मरतबा फिर वापस आ रहा है आपके लिए बहुत बड़े पैमाने पे लेके, जहां खाने पीने के स्टॉल हैं और शॉपिंग है, एंटरटेनमेंट है, बच्चों के लिए झूलों का और कार्निवल का बंदोबस्त भी गया है। यहाँ पे शाम को फायरवर्क भी होगा। आप आए और आके इसमें पुररौनक मेमोरीज को अपनी यादगार बनाइए, अपने खानदान, अपने रिश्तेदारों को, अपने छोटे बड़ों सबको बता दें, दोस्तों अहबाबों को मुलाकात कीजिए। यहाँ पे 1 और 2 जुलाई, 1 एंड 2 जुलाई अपनी कैलेंडर में आप मार्क कर लीजिए। ईद और कनाडा डे एक साथ मनाए। समर फन फेस्ट 1 एंड 2 जुलाई आइए, अपने और अपने घर वालों के साथ एंजॉय कीजिए।
मुसलमान होने के नाते हमें इस बात पे फख्र है कि हम हलाल तरीके से जिंदगी गुजार रहे हैं, लेकिन आपको इस बात का कैसे पता चलेगा जिन हेल्थ सप्लीमेंट्स का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं वो हलाल हैं या नहीं? पेश करते हैं न्यूट्रिलक्स। हमारे पास बेहतरीन क्वालिटी और रेंज ऑफ हेल्थ सप्लीमेंट्स मौजूद हैं जो कि हलाल सर्टिफाइड हैं और 100% वीगन हैं। बच्चों के लिए हमारे पास मजेदार गमी की शक्ल में विटामिन्स मौजूद हैं जो उनकी जरूरी गजाइयत को हासिल करना आसान और खुशगवार बनाते हैं। मर्दों के लिए हमारे सप्लीमेंट सेहतमंद और तंदुरुस्त रहने का आसान तरीका पेश करते हैं, चाहे आप एक एथलीट हो, बिजी प्रोफेशनल या पेरेंट। खवातीन के लिए हमारे सप्लीमेंट्स हैं जो आपकी मजमूई सेहत और तंदुरुस्ती में मदद करते हैं। चाहे आप अपनी एनर्जी को बढ़ाना चाहते हैं या अपने स्किन और बालों को सेहतमंद रखना चाहते हैं। और बुजुर्गों के लिए हमारे टैबलेट्स आपकी सेहत की खुसूसी जरूरियात को पूरा करने और आपकी उम्र के साथ साथ आपको एक्टिव और इंडिपेंडेंट रहने में एक अहम किरदार अदा करती है। न्यूट्रिलक्स सप्लीमेंट्स जिंदगी के हर मरहले के लिए, ताकि आप अपने हलाल अख्तार पर कायम रह सकें।
HK Movers, home, offices, apartments and delivery, big or small, we move it all.
HK Movers.
Local and long distance, we also ship cars, Keller transport and moving services.
For service with a smile, give us a call.
Call Mr. Harminder 416-524-6704.
416-524-6704 पे.
Visit 140 Advanced Boulevard, Unit number 10, Brampton.
Long distance moving specialist.
HK Movers. HK Movers.
Welcome to EB Electronics. Please call 647-762-3956.
डिक्सी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और अप्लायंसेस पिछले 16 सालों से खरीदारों की खिदमत कर रहे हैं। हम लगातार 4 सालों से खरीदारों की पहली पसंद बने रहने का अवार्ड हासिल कर चुके हैं। हम किचनर्स, बॉश, वर्लपूल, LG, सैमसंग और जनरल इलेक्ट्रिक के ऑथराइज्ड डीलर हैं। 5 स्टार खिदमत का लुत्फ लें। हम आप सभी को टीवी सबसे ज्यादा रियायती दामों पर देने की गारंटी देते हैं। www.dixieelectronics.ca हमारी वेबसाइट पर जाएं या अभी कॉल करें 905-625-5900। सभी बहुत ही मुनासिब कीमत पर दस्तयाब हैं जो आप बाआसानी से ले सकते हैं। At Dixie, we sell quality and deliver confidence.
Zoc. Now it's fully renovated. Live catering, barbecue, tandoor, जलेबियाँ और fresh naan. तकरीब आपके घर में हो या घर से बाहर, Zoc is providing full service now, and Zoc has opened a new banquet hall, garden event center. आपका Zoc देखकर लोग कहेंगे क्या Zoc है आपका? Call right now 905-625-7786. Zoc वालों के।
Evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Ent in and around the world. Tonight we're talking about perception is everything in real estate. Perception does not equal reality. You can claim anything you want, but if you're not able to deliver it, your perception that you created is bad. You can have positive impression that describe all the information, knowledge, known or unknown, positively. In addition, positive perception is positive interpretation that involve human evaluating something around them. So basically, you are telling them about yourself, and the consumer are interpreting that perception, whether it's good or bad, and they are making a view, a point of view of you. And obviously, the perception is created because you have some assumptions, approximation, and you have a good continuation of your storytelling about your achievement or accomplishment in real estate. So you have to make sure there are believable things, and they are supported by the evidence, facts, material data. Because in our code of ethics, section 21, finding material facts, is very important for us to know the facts so we are able to convey. We can improve our perception by empathetic listening skill, become aware of stereotype and prejudice when you face them in certain circumstances, and engaging in self-reflection. So we always learn from us how we have experienced our life while conducting business, and we control ourselves so we can improve. And this is why the perception checking is a strategy that allow us to monitor our perceptions of and reaction to others and communication. So when we are communicating or giving a perception to others, we are communicating. They are understanding us, and we are watching their reaction, and we learn from each other, see how is benefiting it. And by communicating, is it by body language or for word of mouth, how we react. Remember when we go out asking a listing, we have interview with them, we ask questions, we do presentation, things like that. And you will know it from their impression that whatever perception you have given and delivered to them, the seller will be looking at all the details. And they're going to evaluate all the candidates who come to their door for selling their property. So this is very important that we still have improvement to make. We learn from each other, how we receive the information, how we process it, and how we deliver it. The platform, when you are doing a marketing, conventionally in the pandemic, we did not go door to door. We're doing social media, word of mouth, or your referral program through your clientele is the way how we conduct our business until we transform our business to social media. And that's what pandemic have brought to us. We learn new skills, and transformation of business have opened new door for us. As you know, I have a Realty Coffee Talk as a global real estate profession network, where we have a CIPS around the world are part of my network. We meet them every month. We have a 28th Global Connectivity Conference coming for CIPS on June 28th and at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are a CIPS professional or you are a global buyer investor looking to find a reliable professional who are CIPS, like I have a pen here, I can make you referral to people who are qualified, licensed to practice in jurisdiction. So this is how you create your perception. Why we have this social media, why we have a YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or LinkedIn, professional. So people recognize you. What you say is believable. They trust you, you're reliable. And obviously, you're a licensed practitioner in the province of Ontario. Therefore, the government of Ontario, a regulator, is on your side as a consumer, because they regulate our ethic and business in Province of Ontario. So it's very, very important for all you to look into when you have doing business with a real estate professional or professional doing business with the consumer, to make sure that you don't give wrong impression about yourself. Don't misguide or mislead information, falsifying. The other thing I remember was about advertising consent. Lots of time I mentioned that I see so many advertisements. I have not seen a single time somebody said, I have a consent from buyer and seller and listing brokerage or brokerage to advertise. I have done that. So you are creating that you are able to advertise without really checking on Real Estate Council of Ontario guidelines, social media guideline. You need sold property, you need informed consent from all parties. There's a guidelines on that. You can see it yourself. You are watching Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Ent in Canada, around the world. We broadcast our program every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you have any question, please feel free to subscribe to awazentertainment.com, Awaz Entertainment 580, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, in Canada, around the world. Also, you can go to realtycoffeetalk.com and watch all these episodes. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. Bye for now. May God bless you all. May God bless Canada. Bye for now.